Hey math lovers! Welcome back to my channel. Sa mga hindi pa po nakapag-subscribe, please subscribe, like and share, and click the notification bell para po ma-update kayo sa ating mga videos. Alright math lovers, for today's vlog, our topic is on special products. I hope you already have the idea in mind what special products are all about. Basically, special products refers to multiplying two or more polynomials. Of course, the result is polynomial or is a polynomial. Okay, math lovers, since malawak ang aralin sa special products, kagaya ng ating ginawa sa nakaraang vlogs, iisa-isahin natin ang pag-aaral tungkol dito. Kaya for today, we will have the product of two binomials. Product of two. Let us now start learning how to get the product of two binomials. Product of two binomials. So, we have here our first example. We have the two binomials. The first one is x plus 1 and the second one is x plus 2. We have to get the product of these two binomials. So I have already here the answer. The answer should be x squared plus 3x plus 2. How should we get or how do we get this answer? What is the pattern? Okay, the first for me, this is how I'm going to answer this one. Since this is product of two binomials, for my first step, I have to multiply the first terms. The first terms x and x. So, x times x is equal to x squared. Yes, x squared. And after that, for my second step, I just have to consider the second terms. We have 1 and 2. These are second terms. I have to add these two. 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3. And since the variable here, the common variable is x, so I have to attach x. That is why for my second term answer, I have 3x. And after that one, for my third step, I'm going to get the product of the second terms again. Consider the second terms again, 1 and 2. You multiply 1 times 2, so that is positive 2. Therefore, our answer is x squared plus 3x plus 2. That's it. Yes, math lovers, for our second example, still on product of two binomials. Our second example is the quantity of x minus 1 times the quantity of x minus 2. So as you can see, I have the same pattern lately sa ating first example. Ngunit ngayon, we have negative and negative. Kanina, it was positive and positive. So we will follow the same steps, no? That was my step, so that is my improvised step. Now I'm going to get it right away. So first, for me, how I'm going to get the answer, I'm having x squared minus 3x plus 2. First, I will consider the first terms of the binomials. The first terms are x and x. Get the product of x and x. So x times x is equal to x squared. Next step for me, I have to consider the second terms, that is negative 1 and negative 2. This is the time now that we're going to apply your learnings on adding integers. So I have to add negative 1 plus negative 2, that is equal to negative 3. And since the common variable here is x, I have to attach x. That is why for the second term, I have negative 3x. And after that, for the next step, for my third step, still I will consider the second terms, negative 1 and negative 2, but this time I'm going to multiply. Multiplying negative 1 times negative 2, the answer is of course positive 2. And that is why, for the final answer, we have x squared minus 3x plus 2. Yes, math lovers, are you still there? This time, I will give you the third example. So, I'm using or I'm giving you a different numbers now. We have 10 and 2 on the second terms. For our third example, this is how we're going to read this one. The quantity of x plus 10 times the quantity of x minus 2. So still getting the product of two binomials, one binomial and another binomial, so there are two binomials. So for our first step, all we need to do is to get the products of the first terms. The first terms are x times x, or x and x. X times x is equal to x squared. Next step will be, we're going to consider our second terms. We have positive 10 and negative 2. So what we're going to do is to get the sum or add the second terms. So we'll have positive 10 plus negative 2. Apply our learnings. So that is equal to positive 8. We have positive 8. The common variable is x, so we attach x here. That is why we have positive 8x. And for our last step, we will just get the product of our second terms again, product. And as said here, we add ito sa positive 8x, but for the third term of our answer, we get the product. So that is positive 10 times negative 2, that is negative 20. Therefore, our answer is x squared plus 8x minus 20. Okay, ulitin po muna natin bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating panghuling halimbawa. So, for our first step, we get the product of the first terms. Second step, we get the sum of the second terms and we attach the common variable. And for the third step, we get the product of the second terms again. Okay, let's have our last example. This is number 4. Okay, let's have our last example. I believe having 4 examples are enough. So for our last example, I'll give you x minus 10 times the quantity of x plus 2. Same pattern that we have in our third example. We have 10 and 2. But I just changed the signs. Kanina, this is positive. This is negative. Now, this is positive and this is negative. Same patterns. Get the product of the first terms. X times x. That is x squared. Next, add the second terms. Negative 10 plus 2, positive 2. Different signs. So that is negative 8. Attach our common variable. We have negative 8x. And for the last step, we get the products of the second terms. So negative 10 times positive 2, that is negative 20. Okay, that's it. So, math lovers, meron ba kayong natutunan sa ating discussion for today? I hope that you were able to understand the 3 steps that we have. Those steps are not really found on the book. We just made it to have the pattern right away. So we have the first step, get the product of the first terms. For the second step, add the second terms and attach the variable. And for the third step, get the product of the second terms. So actually that is based on the FOIL method, but we made a shortcut or a pattern since meron naman tayong iba't ibang paraan kung paano ang pag-solve ng isang bagay or ng isang problem, diba? So, depende yun sa atin kung saan tayo mas nagkakampan. So, that's all for this vlog. So, I hope na napunan ang inyong kaalaman and I hope na unti-unti na po nabubuo ang inyong passion and learning mathematics. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click the bell button for the next one.